Hello friendos, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my vegan story. There's a lot of these stories out there and I'm going to tell mine. So get a snack, sit back and relax, and let's get started. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button. It all began on one fine day when... No, it wasn't that enlightening. Basically, I was raised by my mom, who is very health conscious, but we didn't eat vegetarian or vegan, although she did do it at some point when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it. Anyway, around 6th or 7th grade, I decided I wanted to become a vegetarian several times. Once, it was because we dissected animals in science class. I wasn't grossed out by the corpses, but it did make the connection in my brain that it was an animal at some point, like a living, breathing animal. I was vegetarian for about a half a day, and then I was at lunch and looked down and I was eating fried chicken from the school cafeteria without even realizing it. I was a little grossed out, but not really, since my vegan adventures had only been active for a few hours. I finished the chicken. That might have been my shortest vegetarian attempt. Another time, my mom took my brother and I to a sanctuary farm where they rescue animals from factories, like chickens or cows who broke their legs and couldn't get on the truck and were left to die. I was vegetarian for that trip and probably a little bit after. Finally, another time when I tried to be vegetarian at that time, I was at my dad's house a lot, and he would only let my brother and I order off the dollar menu at McDonald's. And he didn't have any vegetarian food at home, just things like beanless chili and frozen taquitos. So I tried, and I got like the $1 side salad at McDonald's, and it was so sad with like one little piece of shredded carrot and like 3 cherry tomatoes. I ate it, but I was like so hungry afterwards. Not a good way to start your vegetarian journey for sure. So far, it might seem like it's gonna be a long story, but it's really not, because after 6th and 7th grade, I don't really remember much about what I ate. My brain is very selective about what it chooses to remember. I do know that in those years I contemplated going vegetarian many more times. Being vegan didn't even occur to me. Sometimes I would order a plant-based meal like at a restaurant like once and forget about it. It didn't help that I was going to my dad's house 3 days a week, whose version of a meal was, again, beanless chili from the gallon-sized Costco cans. So skipping ahead, I was now an adult with like a real grown-up job and an apartment. It was at that time that I began to like eggs for the first time ever. It's just funny to me because a few months after that, I became vegan. Maybe it was the eggs that did it somehow. Thank you, eggs. I thought I liked you for a second, but you were just disgusting enough to convert me into never eating you again. There was still a lot of flux before I converted overnight, though. The first step was me deciding to try being vegan for 24 hours, except that the only thing I bought was vegetables, and I didn't even eat enough of those and felt super hungry and weak and tired and miserable. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make when trying to go vegan, so that time didn't work out. The next time I tried, I decided to go vegan just for fun, whatever that means. I adopted a much more carefree attitude towards the idea and began eating that way with the idea that I could just stop anytime I wanted. I think that time I stopped because I went out of town and ate at a special pizza place I liked that I don't usually get to go to, but this time I didn't stop trying after that. I just casually went back to eating vegan, and that time it stuck. I enjoyed it, so here I am, almost 3 years later, and I still haven't died of a protein deficiency. Initially, when I went vegan, I did it for health reasons and because I didn't really like meat that much anyway. Cheese was my main vice. Of course, I was doing it for the animals as well, but that was less of a reason. Since then, my priorities have changed and I am vegan for the animals, the environment, and health, in that order probably. Also, I really enjoy making pretty meals, and a vegan diet makes almost every dish more colorful. I also like experimenting in the kitchen, and it's so much fun to do it with vegan food. Another thing I've noticed is that I've always been a little bit of a granola or hippie kind of kid, always running around barefoot since I was little and loving animals, nature, meditating, yoga, stuff like that. And veganism seems to fit that so well. It's just so great to not have to eat carcasses or like the breast milk of another species. And I feel really lucky to live in a part of the world where I have the option to do so and access to a variety of food. Some people worry about health going vegan, so I just wanted to note that I don't have any deficiencies. I get blood work tested regularly and they always say it's fine. fine and all levels are good. My cholesterol is perfect, so is my B12, iron, and other blood levels. I was seeing a new doctor about 2 years into my vegan journey, and she was impressed by my numbers and told me to keep it up. Some people might find it notable that I haven't gained or lost more than 10 pounds or so as a vegan. Some people lose weight and some gain weight, but I stayed the same. I sort of consider that a success because to me, it means that I've transitioned in a way that provides my body with an equivalent number of calories and other stuff. The thing that annoys me the most about being vegan is the joke about how we supposedly never stop talking about it. The irony is that I'm bringing this up in a video all about me being vegan, but that irony does not escape me. But in my experience, I'll be offered food when eating, and someone always asks about it before I say anything myself. Many other vegans are the same way, but usually if we mention it at all, then we're talking about it all the time. Let's say someone asks what I'm eating and I say, a cookie, and they say, but I thought you were vegan. But if I answer, I'm eating a vegan cookie, they will internally take note that vegans always talk about it. Also, why is it considered talking about it all the time for those of us who are vegan, but people can say, yeah, I had a steak last night, and casually talk about their non-vegan habits all the time, and no one considers that equivalent? But anyway, the thing is, I never noticed anyone talking about being vegan ever in the years before I went vegan myself, or even now. I personally don't talk about it myself. Sometimes my partner teases me about it and tells everyone for me, which I hate because I don't want to live up to the stereotype. Maybe that makes me a bad advocate, but I'm trying to lead by example instead of talking about it. My mindset is that if I'm eating a delicious looking meal with others and eat at regular places with everyone else, people might see that being vegan doesn't have to be a big deal. Although I am starting to become more of a verbal advocate for people I'm close to, and I'll just say things that will hopefully get them thinking about it. So that's my story. Thank you for watching. Go follow me on social media. Links are posted below, and remember to subscribe and like this video. Thanks, guys. Bye.